Warning! This video will contain spoilers for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, as well as both of the TV series. Between the movies, the TV series, the shorts, and even the 2 canon comics, the world of How to Train Your Dragon is quite extensive. On the whole, the creators have done an excellent job at connecting everything, making very few continuity mistakes, if you will, along the way. This is difficult when you consider the order in which some of these forms of media were released. For example, the Netflix series, though it takes place before the second movie, came out after the second movie. Not to mention the fact that many people will only watch the movies partly because they only know about it or only care about the movies. So no matter how awesome some of the characters from the Netflix series are, they can't just insert them into the films. Everyone would be confused. One great example of the creators remaining keenly aware to all of this is in the 3rd film when Astrid looks at the blueprints for Toothless's new tail and says to Hiccup, "You tried this once before." He didn't want it. A callback to the short Gift of the Night Fairy, which was made and released ages ago, so most probably don't even know about it. I, however, when I first saw Hiccup making this solo flying tail for Toothless, thought of the short immediately and kinda got concerned and wondered how they were going to handle it. Once I heard Astrid make that comment, I was so happy to see that they left no details out. Like I said though, there were a few tiny mistakes, and do they bother me? A little, but nowhere near enough to diminish my enjoyment of all the works. Actually, there's only one specific mistake. Everything else is more so along the lines of, that's kind of weird when you consider A, B, and C from the TV shorts and series, but no actual mistakes, nothing crazy. Now, following the 3rd film's ending of Toothless taking all of the dragons to the hidden world for good, I think all of us who watched the 2 TV series asked the same question. What about all of the other dragons on the dozens of other islands and the other dragon riders? Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice, and apparently for like the past 3 How to Train Your Dragon videos I've made, I've worn this shirt with this chief necklace from How to Train Your Dragon, so I figured might as well just keep up the trend at this point. But this time I braided my hair, so it's a little different. Okay, honestly, this question didn't really irk me at all because to me, the answer was simple and didn't warrant much concern. However, it is a question that I keep seeing pop up over and over again in different How to Train Your Dragon communities and circles. Thus, I would like to offer my own thoughts, theories, and possibilities on what went down after the end of the 3rd film. But before the epilogue. To recap, at the end of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, Hiccup comes to the heartbreaking realization that as much as he and his people love their dragons, they are not safe in their world. As long as there are greedy humans, the dragons will suffer. Hiccup's ultimate goal was to protect the dragons, and sadly that meant that they needed to escape to the hidden world, a place where only dragons can enter and actually can thrive. It's a haven, one that will ensure the safety of all of the dragons. Hiccup also has to acknowledge that his excessive reliance on Toothless means he hasn't been a real great chief. He has to say goodbye to his best friend, the creature that helped him discover himself and honestly gave him the confidence to be who he is. Now, he has to have that same confidence, but on his own. Well, not entirely on his own, but with the help of the woman who first believed in him, the woman who would become his wife and the new chiefess of Berk, Astrid. Toothless as Alpha leads all of the dragons of Berk to the hidden world where they can thrive in actual freedom until humans can learn to get along, spurring the beautiful speech Hiccup gives his children in the epilogue. The quandary here is that those of us who watch the 2 TV series know that there are other civilizations that have dragons for peaceful reasons, islands of them. There are the Wing Maidens, a tribe of warrior women who protect baby razor whips from adult, predatory male razor whips until they are old enough to grow and thrive on their own. Their entire lifestyle is centered around these amazing dragons, a species you don't even know about unless you've watched the Netflix series. There's also Berserker Island, led by Chief Dagger the Deranged and his sister Heather, who both have dragons of their own and even their own Bewilderbeast under the island. Not the same one that's with Volca, I don't think. I mean, I guess it's possible that after the end of the Netflix series, like how they got the egg to Volca secretly, they could have moved the Bewilderbeast there, but I don't know, that's another theory for another day. The point is, there are dragons there too, living in peace. The last big one I want to point out is the island for the Defenders of the Wing. This is the most problematic one. You see, this tribe, guided by Queen Mala, who actually marries Dagger the Deranged, basically worships this one dragon on their island, the Eruptodon, a dragon which controls the lava flow on the island. You see where this is going, don't you? For the first 2 islands, it's merely a matter of changing and, completely uprooting their current lifestyle, although it would probably be easier for the Berserkers than the Wing Maidens. But anyway, however, for the Defenders of the Wing, their island will cease to exist without the Eruptodon. There are so many questions here. First of all, how do all of the dragons get summoned to the hidden world? I only mentioned the islands that have both people and dragons. There are dozens upon dozens of islands and archipelagos that Hiccup and his friends discover and explore throughout the entire Netflix series. Next, who's going to explain to all of these faraway islands what the heck is going on and why their dragons are leaving? And lastly, how do these tribes, especially Defenders of the Wing and the Wing Maidens, get to another island to start over or get a new life? I mean, come on, the Berserkers are probably fine as they are, but that's gotta be really a lot to handle. And yes, I believe I have suitable solutions to all of these questions and more. Toothless getting all of the dragons to the hidden world. Toothless is the alpha, correct? Well, then it would stand to reason that once he gets all of the dragons of Newburgh to the hidden world, then he would go out and gather the rest. He could even channel the help of the 2 Bewilderbeasts that we know of, and with their mind powers, get them to gather the other dragons. I say 2, assuming the one under Berserker Island didn't end up with Valka and thus dead. Yeah. If you're confused where this other Bewilderbeast is coming from, during the scene where Hiccup, Astrid, and Stormfly go into the hidden world, there is a brief moment where we see a dark Bewilderbeast, the same one that was Drago's from the second film. We know it's him because one of his tusks is broken, but their mind powers would be incredibly helpful in gathering the masses of dragons, seeing as we know it works over large distances. In the final episode of Dragons Race to the Edge, we see the Berserker Bewilderbeast summon hundreds of dragons from everywhere to help Hiccup and everyone else. So we know it wouldn't be too large of a task for them. So that settles Toothless getting all of the dragons to the hidden world. But what about Hiccup getting to explain to the others what the heck is going on? This is a little bit tougher, but easily solved. I suppose he could possibly find a couple terrible terrors as they're passing through to get to the hidden world and send terror mail to them, but that's less likely. So I have another solution. While the people of Newburgh would have to be quick on their feet in making boats and ships and a way to get them off that island, they would easily be able to send people out on those ships to those different islands to explain what's happening. The first one they would need to send out is to Defenders of the Wing and offer them a haven on Newburgh since, the volcano's gonna erupt without the Eruptodon and they would need a place to stay, which would be a nice payback for the time that the Defenders of the Wing took in Hiccup and his friends when, the edge was kind of... And no, I don't think this would be too much of a problem to explain to the people. These groups and tribes have been living in harmony with their dragons. They love them and want what's best for them as well, so while they would absolutely be crestfallen, ultimately, they would understand and agree that this is the best thing for them. How about starting a new life? What would they do? Just like the hooligan tribe of Newburgh, move onward and upward. For Defenders of the Wing, I imagine that they would integrate with the Berserkers if they haven't already. I mean, like I said, Chief Dagger, Queen Mala, they're married, so it would kind of make sense. And I also imagine that the Wing Maidens would do just fine. Perhaps they would find a new cause, new traditions. I don't know, but they're strong people. They'll find a way to press forward. The question I'm sure many of you are now asking is this. Well, then wouldn't it make sense if Toothless and the others reunited with their writers just one more time real quick? Just to get this all out there so we would get another short or something? While I'm sure that sounds nice to many, I'm less enthusiastic. It would just be too soon, and here's what I mean by that. With how the third film ended, doing this would kind of ruin the depth and meaning of their parting, in my opinion. Their parting referring to Hiccup and Toothless. I would much rather prefer the Bewilderbeasts do their thing by helping Toothless with their mind powers, and the Birkins do their thing and going to tell the other dragon riders what's going on. The point is that the people of Berk need to learn how to thrive and do things on their own again without the help of dragons, especially Chief Hiccup Haddock. I want the gravity of that parting to remain and to just suddenly reunite real quick for this one little thing to get everyone to the hidden world and to new islands. That would completely tarnish and trash it, and would kind of negate the meaning too, since they're again supposed to be doing things on their own now. As would any new movie or series before or post-epilogue, seeing as the point is humans are not ready to be with dragons. We're not responsible enough. We aren't peaceful enough yet. That on top of the fact that Dean himself said that this movie answers the question of why we don't have dragons anymore. Trying to muster up a new dragon thing of some sort with Hiccup's kids would do the ending and the meaning and the purpose of the third film a huge disservice and kind of just slap it in the face. Believe me, I want more How to Train Your Dragon stuff as much as the next person. I'm obsessed with this series, but I also recognize that the message is really strong as it is, and it needs to stay that way. Making new stuff, I really cannot see how it would work, and believe me, I've heard so many suggestions, none of them make sense. Just accept that things have to end, as much as it hurts. Just like what Hiccup goes through. Well, that took a turn, but it needed to be said. So there you have it. At least from my perspective, though it would be sad and difficult, Toothless getting all the dragons to the hidden world and Hiccup separately explaining what's going on to the other dragon lovers really wouldn't be too complex. Simple solutions to our questioning and curiosity. If you also sobbed for like hours straight during and after the ending of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, let me know in the comment section below. Y'all, I actually heard a rumor recently concerning How to Train Your Dragon that has my wheels turning in a way I really didn't expect. This is thanks to info from a user named Soup Knight, so be looking forward to a video on that decently soon. If you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing if you want. I talk about other geeky topics that I'm very much passionate about, such as Zelda, Harry Potter, Disney, and more, kind of like these videos over here, so consider checking them out. But that's all for today. Thank you for watching.